NATO Secretary General Rute was at the White House yesterday, the 24th of June 2026. Rute visited the White House to meet with Donald Trump to see if he can ease tension between Donald Trump and NATO. Rute came to beg, maybe to see if Donald Trump can change his mind towards NATO. He came to kiss the ass of Donald Trump because Donald Trump has not yet forgiven NATO. Donald Trump has not yet forgiven them for what they did to him in this conflict with Iran. And NATO had to send their Secretary General, Rute, to go and convince Donald Trump, to go and beg him for what they did to the United States in this conflict with Iran. And Donald Trump has threatened to exit from NATO. Donald Trump has threatened multiple times that the United States is going to exit from NATO. And during his visit at the White House, Rute unveils what is called the Trump's trillion chart. And he said he just wants to show what Europe and Canada has done to NATO. He wants to show Donald Trump that NATO and Canada has been contributing a lot to boost the defense budget of NATO. He said since Donald Trump became the president in 2017, Europe and Canada have stepped up their budget, their defense budget. In fact, he said Europe and Canada have contributed about $1.2 trillion to NATO. And he also showered Donald Trump with praises. He said the reason Europe and Canada have been able to step up their budget is because Donald Trump is constantly pushing them. And Donald Trump has contributed a lot for NATO. And he showered Donald Trump with praises, kissed his ass. And when he finished, guess what Donald Trump said? Donald Trump said if he was another president, he will not be welcoming him at the White House because of what NATO did to the United States against Iran. Donald Trump said NATO failed. They failed because they didn't show up when the United States needed them. In fact, Donald Trump expressed his disappointment. He called Rute a friend, but still went ahead to say he is disappointed with what NATO did to him against Iran. Yeah, he claimed that he never really needed NATO, but NATO should have said, we are willing to help. Just to show Donald Trump that we are willing to help. Donald Trump said he asked for help not because he really needed help. So to him, it was like a test to see if NATO can show up for the United States. In fact, watch the video.
I want to show you what this president was able to achieve. And I start with this chart. This chart is about the Trump trillion. The Trump trillion shows you the increase Europeans and Canadians are paying into defense since you took office in 2017. I'm also absolutely convinced that you being president of the United States, being consistently pushing for something which since Eisenhower has not been achieved, which is the Europeans equalizing their defense spending with the United States. There is $54 billion of US defense industrial. That is now a order catalog.
I think if anybody else were in that position, we wouldn't even be meeting today, to be honest with you, because we were let down. We didn't need help on this at all. We've demolished them in literally the first week. But it would have been nice if they would have said, we'd like to help.
You can imagine, just after showering Donald Trump with praises, and Donald Trump still expressed his frustration, his anger and disappointment on what NATO did to the United States. I've told you in several videos that Donald Trump will never forgive NATO because of what NATO did to the United States. Iran exposed the United States. Iran exposed their weaknesses. Iran humiliated the United States simply because of NATO. This is why Donald Trump will never forgive NATO, because tell me one war that the United States has won without the help of NATO. Or tell me one war that the United States has fought continuously for 3 months without the help of NATO. You cannot. So the United States used to hide behind NATO, and people always refer to them as a superpower. People always think that the United States has the strongest military in the whole world. But because of NATO, it was all because of NATO. Look at what happened with Iran. Simply because NATO was not there to back them, they were humiliated, embarrassed, and defeated. This is why you will not understand why Donald Trump is still angry with NATO. From February 28th to date, Donald Trump has not forgiven NATO. And he has started withdrawing his troops, the United States troops, from NATO countries. It was confirmed today, the 25th of June 2026, that the United States has withdrawn 5,000 troops from Germany, and expect it to happen with other NATO members. Donald Trump will not forgive NATO so far as he is the president of the United States, because NATO exposed the United States against Iran. And their next summit will be on the 7th and 8th of July in Turkey. They will be meeting in Turkey on the 7th and 8th of July. I wonder if the United States is going to be in that summit. I wonder if they are going to attend. But what NATO did to the United States, Donald Trump will never forgive them. So Rute came to beg and convince Donald Trump to ease the tension between NATO and the United States. He came to kiss the ass of Donald Trump to beg. But what do you think? And one thing I always ask, they are contributing these trillions of dollars. What for? What are they doing with all this money just to go around the world destroying lives and properties? What are they doing with this money? We contributed trillions of dollars since 2017. For what? For what? Sponsor Ukraine, sponsor Israel to be carrying out their genocide in Gaza. So I don't get it. I don't get it. What is the purpose of NATO? What are they doing with those trillions of dollars? Think of the atrocities they are committing around the world. And children are dying everywhere. They can't help. What's your opinion? What do you think? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. God bless you.